ทียบนะครับไม่ได้หมายความว่าให้คุณไปเล่นการพนันนะต่อไปข้อ2ครับเกมการเงินเนี่ยมันเป็นเกมที่ไม่มีวันจบครับหลายคนคิดว่าถ้าฉันมีเงิน10 ล้านแล้วฉันต้องมีความสุขมากแน่ๆซึ่งใช่ครับมันทำให้คุณมีความสุขขึ้นมาจริงๆแต่คุณก็ยังคงอยู่ในเกมการเงินต่อไปนะสิ่งสำคัญของการรู้เรื่องนี้ก็คือคุณต้องวางแผนในระยะยาวครับหลายคนเนี่ยมีเงิน10 ล้านตอนอายุ25ครับแต่สุดท้ายก็มาถังแตกตอนอายุ26เพราะว่าใช้เงินเกินตัวซึ่งถ้ามันเป็นอย่างนี้มันก็เท่ากับว่าคุณแพ้เกมครับนั่นจึงเป็นเหตุผลที่ว่าทำไมคนที่เคยถูกลอตเตอรี่10 ล้านแต่สุดท้ายก็กลับมาจนอย่างรวดเร็วเพราะพวกเขาคิดไปเองว่าตัวเองชนะเกมแล้วไม่ได้วางแผนต่อดังนั้นเนี่ยคุณจำเอาไว้เลยนะครับว่าตราบใดที่คุณยังมีชีวิตอยู่ตราบใดที่คุณยังไม่ตายเกมการเงินมันยังไม่จบครับต่อไปข้อ3ครับคุณต้องเรียนรู้ว่ากำลังโฟกัสอะไรบางคนเนี่ยกำลังรุ่งอยู่กับการทำธุรกิจอาหารและมีเพื่อนชักชวนไปทำธุรกิจอสังหาริมทรัพย์สุดท้ายครับล้มไม่เป็นท่าเพราะไม่ได้เชี่ยวชาญในธุรกิจนั้นดังนั้นครับจงโฟกัสธุรกิจที่ตัวเองทำอยู่ตรงหน้าให้ดีเสียก่อนต่อไปข้อ4ครับทำเงินให้เร็วแต่สร้างความมั่งคั่งให้ช้าถ้าคุณอยากจะรวยเนี่ยคุณควรหาวิธีที่จะสามารถทำเงินได้ทีละมากๆและเร็วที่สุดเท่าที่จะเป็นไปได้แต่อย่าข้ามขั้นตอนหรือหาทางลัดที่มันอันตรายเด็ดขาดความรวยเนี่ยสามารถสร้างได้อย่างรวดเร็วครับแต่ความมั่งคั่งเป็นสิ่งที่ต้องค่อยๆสร้างอย่างช้าๆคุณต้องผ่านการเรียนรู้และหาประสบการณ์มากมายครับจึงจะมีความสามารถพอที่จะรักษาความมั่งคั่งเอาไว้ได้การรีบลัดขั้นตอนจะทำให้คุณสูญเสียมันไปสักวันครับหลายคนอาจจะสงสัยว่าความรวยคืออะไรความมั่งคั่งคืออะไรความรวยคือคุณมีรายได้เยอะๆครับส่วนความมั่งคั่งคือเวลาที่คุณจะใช้ชีวิตอยู่โดยไม่ต้องทำงานได้กี่ปียกตัวอย่างเช่นสมมุติว่าคุณมีเงินอยู่10 ล้านบาทและคุณใช้ปีละล้านนั่นเท่ากับว่าคุณมีความมั่งคั่ง10 ปีถ้าคุณมีเงิน100 ล้านแต่คุณใช้ปีละ10 ล้านคุณก็มีความมั่งคั่ง10 ปีแต่ถ้าสมมติว่าคุณสร้างความมั่งคั่งโดยการสร้างทรัพย์สินครับสร้างอสังหาริมทรัพย์สร้างลิขสิทธิ์สร้างหนังสือสร้างคอร์สออนไลน์สร้างเว็บไซต์ต่างๆที่มันสามารถผลิตเงินให้คุณได้ปีละ1 ล้านบาทแต่คุณใช้เงินปีละ500,000นั่นเท่ากับว่าเฮ้ยคุณก็จะมีความมั่งคั่งไปเรื่อยๆนั่นเองดังนั้นเนี่ยเห็นไหมครับว่าความรวยกับความมั่งคั่งเนี่ยมันต่างกันครับต่อไปข้อ5ครับคุณต้องหยุดรับคำแนะนำจากคนที่ไม่ได้มี mindset แบบคนรวยสิ่งหนึ่งที่แตกต่างกันระหว่างคนรวยกับคนทั่วไปก็คือคนรวยเนี่ยมีวิธีคิดแบบคนรวยและคนทั่วไปก็มีวิธีคิดแบบคนทั่วไปครับคนรวยจะศึกษาเรื่องเงินดูว่าเงินมันไหลเวียนจากที่ไหนไปที่ไหนและจะทำยังไงถึงจะสร้างตะแกรงมาตักตวงเงินที่กำลังไหลเวียนอยู่ได้ในขณะที่คนทั่วไปเนี่ยจะรอรับส่วนแบ่งจากคนรวยที่เป็นผู้สร้างตะแกรงอีกทีแน่นอนว่าคุณจะไม่มีทางรวยได้จากการรอรับส่วนแบ่งจากคนอื่นยกตัวอย่างเช่นคนรวยเขาก็จะดูครับว่าเฮ้ยตอนนี้เนี่ยลูกค้าต้องการอะไรเทรนด์เป็นยังไงคนกำลังบริโภคอะไรอยู่ใช้อะไรอยู่และเขาก็จะสร้างธุรกิจครับที่สามารถดูดเงินจากผู้บริโภคมาได้เห็นไหมเขาจะสร้างตะแกรงเพื่อเอาเงินที่ไหลเวียนอยู่เข้ากระเป๋าตัวเองส่วนคนทั่วไปเนี่ยก็จะไม่คิดแบบนั้นครับคิดแค่ว่าฉันจะเรียนให้เก่งเรียนให้สูงแล้วก็ไปทำงานที่ดีๆเพื่อรอรับส่วนแบ่งจากผู้สร้างตะแกรงนั้นอีกทีดังนั้นครับถ้าคุณใช้เวลาส่วนใหญ่ไปกับการพูดคุยกับคนรวยสักวันคุณจะเข้าใจวิธีการสร้างตะแกรงแต่ถ้าคุณใช้เวลาส่วนใหญ่ไปกับคนธรรมดาคุณก็จะรู้แต่วิธีรอรับส่วนแบ่งจากคนอื่นนะคุณสังเกตได้เลยถ้าคุณคุยกับคนรวยเขาก็จะบอกว่าเฮ้ยวันนี้ตลาดเป็นยังไงตอนนี้คนต้องการอะไรตอนนี้เทรนด์เป็นยังไงตอนนี้เงินมันน่าจะไหลไปทางไหนเฮ้ยเราจะไปสร้างธุรกิจอะไร
Me? Just hanging around.
ดักเงินนั้นไว้แต่ถ้าคุณคุยกับคนทั่วไปเขาจะบอกแค่ว่าช่วงนี้เรียนอะไรต้องทำงานอะไรต้องเรียนอะไรดีจบไปทำงานอะไรบริษัทไหนรับคนบริษัทไหนไล่คนออกมันจะรู้อยู่แค่นี้แหละครับต่อไปข้อ6ครับคือเงินคือพลังงานที่เกิดมาเพื่อไหลเวียนครับหลายคนเนี่ยหวาดกลัวที่จะใช้เงินครับกลัวที่จะจ่ายเงินกลับไปยังระบบเศรษฐกิจแต่ถ้าเรามั่นใจว่าการจ่ายออกไปเพื่อซื้ออะไรบางอย่างมันมีประโยชน์ไม่ว่าจะเป็นการท่องเที่ยวการซื้อเสื้อผ้าหรือความสะดวกสบายก็ให้จ่ายไปเลยครับอย่าไปเสียดายจำเอาไว้นะครับจ่ายแล้วมีประโยชน์ไม่ใช่จ่ายเพื่อฟุ่มเฟือยนะท่องเที่ยวแล้วได้ประสบการณ์ได้ความคิดใหม่ ได้คอนเนคชันใหม่ๆซื้อเสื้อผ้าดีๆที่ดูสะอาดดูดีใส่ไปเจอลูกค้าและทำให้เขาประทับใจสามารถที่จะทำเงินกลับมาได้ไม่ใช่ซื้อเล่นๆเห็นอะไรก็ซื้อมาใส่2 วันแล้วก็เก็บไว้ในตู้เสื้อผ้าหรือว่าไปซื้อพวกหนังสือดีๆอ่านซื้อคอร์สเรียนดีๆที่ทำให้คุณเนี่ยมีทักษะการหาเงินเพิ่มขึ้นเนี่ยถ้าแบบนี้เนี่ยจ่ายไปเลยครับอย่าไปเสียดายคนที่หวาดกลัวที่จะใช้เงินเนี่ยถ้าคุณไม่จบด้วยการที่เงินไหลออกไปจากคุณเนี่ยเงินก็จะไม่ไหลเข้ามาหาคุณเนี่ยคุณอย่าลืมว่าถ้าคุณไม่จ่ายเงินออกไปยังไงสักวันเนี่ยมันต้องไหลออกไปอยู่ดีแต่เรามาดูกันดีกว่าว่าเฮ้ยจ่ายออกไปแบบไหนที่มันจะได้กลับมามากกว่าแต่นี่ไม่ได้หมายความว่าจะให้คุณจ่ายเงินไปจนหมดนะครับคุณก็ควรออมเงินไว้สำหรับการลงทุนโดยเฉพาะตอนที่คุณอายุ 20-30 ปีเนี่ยเพียงแต่คุณอย่าหวาดกลัวที่จ่ายเงินออกไปมากเกินไปครับเพราะว่าต่อให้คุณมีเงินในบัญชีสัก100 ล้านแต่ไม่กล้าจ่ายเพื่อซื้อความสุข
Did you see the thumbnail for this video and think, should I take up the one-on-one coaching offered by vidIQ? Or maybe you're here just to show some love and hear me talk about my channel's progress after almost 4 months of consistent content. Well, good news, we're covering both of these things today.
All you need to do, this applies to people that have not uploaded videos but have dreams of being a YouTuber, is make 100 videos and improve something every time. Do that. And then on your 101st video, we'll start talking. Like maybe you can get some views.
Here's the thing, I respect that, but I wanted something more than just waiting for luck to strike. I wanted guidance, insights, and a strategic approach. So I signed up for vidIQ's one-on-one coaching subscription. I've been creating videos here for a few months now, and I'm really enjoying the process and the progress so far. But I don't have years to waste. So when vidIQ announced that they were offering one-on-one coaching, I jumped straight onto that opportunity. And I'm going to tell you how it's helped me so far. Welcome if you're new here, and welcome back to my repeat offenders. I'm Sunil, an avid journaler and newly diagnosed content creator. Documenting things that matter to me is my thing, and I thought, why not capture my YouTube journey while it's still in its early days? I've got really big plans for growth, and I can't wait to share it all with you. So I've got some comparisons to show you with my latest video, which did pretty well by my own standards, to some of the ones I posted a few weeks prior when I was just about to start the coaching. But first, I gotta run you through a few of the steps that helped me start. Well, let me tell you why I hopped on the vidIQ coaching bandwagon. I've been following vidIQ since I started posting on my channel, especially intrigued by their channel review live streams. But there was one problem. I'm not the patient type. Waiting in line with 1,000 other creators hoping for a random selection in a public live stream wasn't my thing. I wanted personalized action and attention. It's been nearly 4 weeks since I started in the coaching program, and let me tell you, it's been a game changer. I got paired with an incredibly insightful and helpful coach, a super cool person who has been incredible to work with so far. Their encouragement and enthusiasm has been really amazing, and I love how they've helped reduce the anxieties that I have with trying new things here and sharing my ideas. It's super validating. You might wonder, why invest in coaching? Here's the deal. vidIQ had already won my trust. Their YouTube content has provided me with super valuable information, and I knew they had the expertise I needed. There's an overwhelming sea of self-acclaimed expert coaches out there with nothing substantial to show. With vidIQ, I already had trust in what they had to say because they show up every week and engage with their community and actively help them, myself included. YouTube is an ever-changing and growing beast, and about 4 months ago I made a big decision. I dropped the workday to dedicate myself fully to content creation. I'm passionate about this and I want to do it full-time. Waiting years to see results isn't an option for me, and neither is running around in circles trying to figure it all out on my own. I acknowledge that being able to take part in coaching is a privilege and that it's not an option for everyone, but I definitely work better when I have someone to confide in and bounce my ideas off. As I already have a film background, we've been focusing on areas that I think needed the most improvement. We worked through defining my channel's goals and identifying my target audience. We shifted the focus to make my content more discoverable while retaining its community appeal. Additionally, we worked on my storytelling model, which has helped me get more flow, and together we've been refining thumbnails and titles. Having an expert guide me on framing ideas and making them more intriguing has been incredibly helpful. In fact, my last video, which you can see here if you haven't already, became my second best performing video. We carefully designed the thumbnail and built a compelling concept leading to its success, which I now understand better, rather than trying to blindly replicate it. I had a few failed attempts at the thumbnail for this video, which was interesting as I've been trying to just follow a particular style, and with my last few videos, I've been trying to move in a different direction while finding an aesthetic that I like, one that's appealing to my audience and myself. I really love the scrapbook kind of look, and I've been trying to incorporate it into my videos, but I really struggled with the thumbnail because design is not a strong suit of mine. So here's some of the failed attempts. Now, I say fail in quotation marks because without them being deemed as failures, I wouldn't have come up with anything better. Now, I'm going to reframe failures into learning opportunities here. When I was going back and forth with my coach, they were able to explain it in a way that made sense to the message I was trying to get across to my audience. The previous attempts were too busy, they weren't clear, and they didn't pass the glance test. Having someone to actually speak with directly about your own work has been invaluable to me because you can spend hours watching thumbnail tutorial videos and still not be able to take a step back and apply those lessons to your own work. To stand back and be objective is really hard when it's something you have a personal connection to. There's a lot of bias and emotion attached to that. Time saved and the personal feedback is exactly what I need. I want to do this full time one day. I don't have time to spend 10 hours a week online looking for answers for every question that I have. Moving forward, our focus for the next 8 to 10 videos is to create more engaging hooks at the start to increase viewer retention, which means YouTube is suggesting my videos to more people. This in turn will keep audiences on the platform longer, which is what YouTube wants ultimately, and it'll reward you by putting your content in front of more and more people, which is channel growth. Now, I can't actually show the coaching sessions due to the personalized nature of the experience. I promise I'm not gatekeeping. The coaching works through a messaging platform, allowing me to send written messages, photos, or up to 3 90-second videos to my coach a day. The turnaround time is quick, and it helps me think critically about what I want to achieve with each message, reducing overwhelm and keeping me focused, which is essential for my ADHD brain. While the numbers may seem small to some creators, I'm genuinely happy with the success I've achieved so far, especially in the community I've built and the heartfelt comments I've received. Compliments make me emotional. Last week I started with 90 subs and I'm currently sitting at 130-ish a week later. You should also go and subscribe if you haven't. Make that number grow, baby! This increase is mostly due to one video and the additional channel elements we've been working on, like adding a proper channel trailer in place and being able to guide people back to my more community-centered videos. I had some really nice engagement in my other videos as a result of this that I didn't have before. I'm excited to start and continue this little coaching documentation series and keep you updated on my channel's progress. The key is to be a sponge and soak up every piece of information you can and then use it constructively. I get really frustrated when people in the comments keep saying, just keep doing what you're doing and eventually your channel will blow up. That's just not enough. The literal definition of insanity is doing the same thing every day and expecting a different result. You need to experiment, improve, and just keep evolving. If you need help, I highly recommend giving vidIQ coaching a go. It's been a game changer for me if you have the means to do so. This video was completely my own idea, and I'm definitely not endorsed or sponsored by vidIQ. I'm just passionate about it, and I saw no one else had done a video on their coaching experience yet, so I saw the opportunity to. These coaches are an invaluable resource, and I genuinely believe they'll play a significant role in achieving the growth that I'm aiming for. So if you're prepared to put in the work, go for it. I really cannot recommend it enough. I hope you found this video helpful in some way. I'm really excited to continue growing on here and showing you how I do it. If you're trying to start a channel or grow it, write down some actionable steps. Do something different every time. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. Help me smash my goals. If you have any questions about
I had never made a YouTube video in my life. I figured that going viral was something that just happened to you one day, kind of like winning the lottery.
I plateaued. I came to a point where no matter when I posted, everything stayed level. I didn't see any growth. No matter what I did, I didn't see growth.
When I heard that coaching was an option, I was ready to jump on that opportunity.
I went from struggling to get like 100 views on a video, seriously, to my latest video got about 2,400 views and lots more subscribers than usual.
A lot of YouTube creators feel this way. You have really big plans for your channel, you get started, and then inevitably you get stuck. Fortunately, though, there are some ways to give yourself a leg up. Have you ever heard of a football coach, a career coach, a life coach, even some of the most passionate people who use a helping hand sometimes? YouTube can be a long and exhausting journey, especially if you're going in alone. So it kind of helps to have somebody alongside you that's been through this a couple of times.
I did what everyone told me to do. Get a high quality camera. I got a 4K camera. Get some great lighting. I have great lighting. Get great audio. Be consistent with your posting. I was consistent every week, sometimes 2 videos a week, and you'll grow on YouTube. Well, that's not true. I plateaued. I came to a point where no matter when I posted, everything stayed level. I didn't see any growth. No matter what I did, I didn't see growth. So at that point, I said, I need professional help. Yeah, professional help.
Being a new channel and being new to YouTube, my first posts were getting like 4 and 5 views. My topics were all over the place. My presentation was all wrong. I had never even heard of a key word.
I felt pretty aimless, quite honestly. I didn't know exactly what kind of content to make.
Another pain point on YouTube is not exactly knowing the next step you can take when you've maybe had some success or you've identified a problem on your channel. I ran into this myself once upon a time as a small creator because I had energy and I had time to put into my channel, but Where do I spend it most efficiently? What can I do to make sure that the effort I'm putting in leads to the greatest impact for my channel?
And I didn't feel like I had a lot of direction with my content other than I wanted to create stories or share tips. I knew that that was my
Is female nature really ruthless? I want to talk about this because a lot of guys will say to me, women are ruthless, they're heartless, they don't care about us. And that is an extreme view, but there is a hint of truth to it, right? The truth is never as bad as it sounds, it's never as good as it sounds. Somewhere in between. I think the big problem with men is that they generally build women up into being these idealistic creatures, these women who can come along and save them, who can fix their problems, who can make their life magical and glorious and much better. If you live in a shitty place in the suburbs, you got a crap job, you don't like it, you don't make much money, what's going to make your life infinitely better? A beautiful woman. You're probably not going to be able to get a beautiful woman, but getting a beautiful woman is going to make your life a lot better. So that's why men go for this dream, because it's one way to just magically and drastically improve your life. Now, a little bit counterintuitively, that doesn't happen to men that often. What usually happens is that the woman living in the suburbs in the shitty location with a crappy job, if she's beautiful, she can be saved. She can go to London or to New York, meet a man, a rich, wealthy man, and be living in a penthouse apartment and living a lavish lifestyle fairly easily. It's very easy for beautiful women to move up in the world. It's not easy for a man to move up in the world. It takes hard work, it takes intelligence, it takes risk, all those qualities that women look for in men, but it's difficult for men. So, back to my point, this is why men raise women up and they think of them as these creatures who can save them. Women are not really ruthless. It's female instinct which is ruthless. Female instinct doesn't afford women any time. It doesn't afford them the luxury of time because women have a short window to reproduce, and they have to be able to reproduce within a certain time frame. And if they don't do it, they miss the window. And that's why women can be very cold. They can cut men off very, very quickly if they realize it's not working out, if they're not heading in the right direction. Whereas men can kind of linger with women for 5 years, 10 years. You could stay in a relationship with a woman. Even though it's a long time, you could stay in a relationship. But if you didn't want to get married or you wanted to have kids later in life, you could do, right? So there's no pressure. But women have this biological pressure to make things happen and make things happen fast. And if it doesn't happen, if it's not going in the right direction, they move on. And that's why women can become quite ruthless. Also, women rule by instinct and emotions. So what that means is they respond to a man's behavior and emotions. If a man is weak, or if he's indecisive, or if he's unsure about himself, or if he doesn't have any ambition, or he's not going in a direction which a woman thinks is good, or he's not going in a direction she thinks has a decent future, the woman's going to bail, right? She's just going to leave. She's going to eject because she doesn't think that there's any future attaching herself to that man. So yes, female nature can be ruthless that way because it doesn't really care about nostalgia. It doesn't really care about sentimentality. Women don't care about that stuff, believe it or not. It's men who are sentimental. Men are the real romantics. Men are the ones who are nostalgic, very sentimental, very romantic. Women, on the other hand, fairly ruthless. They're fairly ruthless if it's not going in the direction they want. So the reason I'm making this video is because I spoke to this guy and he was in a relationship with a woman for 2 years, and he wasn't in a rush to get married. He wasn't in a rush to have kids, and he said he just saw this switch turn off, like a coldness come over his girlfriend. He didn't want to have kids yet, or if ever. And when he vocalized this, the woman just went cold and started to withdraw and shut her emotions down, closed legs, no interest in getting closer to him, and he could see that she was actually emotionally withdrawing from him. And he thought, well, you know, we've been together for 2 years, we've taken all these trips together, we've been overseas, we've met each other's families, we've had Christmas together, we've shared birthdays together. How can she just give it all away and not care about that? Well, it's because women are ruthless when it comes to progression. If they're not getting progression in the way they want it, they shut down their emotions. So that's something to think about if you want to know how to get a girl back and she's pulled away from you. I highly recommend you get a copy of my Get Her Back action plan. It will show you how to get a girl back the right way and to reinstall attraction and maintain attraction, which is even more important. You can pick up your copy today by clicking on the link below. And don't forget, I do phone and email consultations. You can book a consultation with me on my website, develofattraction.com. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I always love to hear from you guys.